Jon Scheyer in his second year takes Duke to the regional championship game before falling to NC State. But year number 3 for Jon Scheyer is going to look a lot different than his sophomore campaign. A lot of new faces around the Blue Devils basketball offices these days.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's any reason to reach for a panic button, and I certainly wouldn't call it red flags or warning signs. But it's worth pointing out that what we just saw at Duke over this last month has never happened in the history of Duke basketball prior to now. Duke has never, ever lost 2 quality starting caliber players who were multi-year starters to the outgoing transfer portal. It's never happened. Now, we all know transfers, the number of transfers is setting new records every year. So it's not only Duke that is swept up in this phenomenon. But Jeremy Roach was a 4-year starter with the Blue Devils. For most of my 37 years covering Duke, I'd have been shocked if a 4-year starter for Duke finished his career somewhere else. Similarly, Mark Mitchell was a 2-year starter at forward for the Blue Devils. You don't see too many starters of any kind for Duke over decades of history leave the program voluntarily unless they're leaving for professional basketball early. So that's at least intriguing. And when you add the fact that in total, it's one thing when the guys who weren't going to play a lot leave, right? Jalen Blake's backup guard. It's okay that he leaves. Christian Reeves, big man who wasn't going to see time at Duke. He is on the outbound. Jaden Schutt, a wing guard, just was probably never going to get many minutes at Duke. No problem. They're moving on. It's a win-win situation. They find more playing time somewhere else that they were never going to get at Duke. And, of course, Duke has those scholarships to work with on the recruiting trail, high school or otherwise. But when Sean Stewart, McDonald's All-American, coming off a solid freshman year, also decides to hit the transfer portal, and TJ Power, another prep All-American, 1 year at Duke, decides to hit the transfer portal as well. Well, now you have 4 total starters with eligibility remaining who have left. 2, again, they're going to be NBA first-round picks, Kyle Filipowski and Jared McCain. No red flag there. But when you add Mark Mitchell and Jeremy Roach, not as talented, but they could have been part of a firm foundation for Jon Scheyer as he enters year 3. Now, instead, Mark Mitchell's going to be representing Missouri, and Jeremy Roach is going to be representing the Baylor Bears. So that's going to be an adjustment, and of course, it's a reflection of the times in college basketball. But the fact that it hit Duke this hard, there's 11 total departures from Duke.